The robbers applied pig fat all over the railroad tracks, preparing to seize the train loaded with precious gold. By analyzing the vibration frequency of the rails, Jimmy, the gang's leader, could precisely determine the distance of the incoming train. After setting the ambush, they concealed themselves in the nearby bushes, patiently awaiting the train's arrival. 10 minutes later, the train arrived exactly as planned. Due to the uphill section and the effect of the pig fat, the wheels began to spin quickly in place, which was exactly the outcome the robbers had hoped for. They used this moment to storm onto the train and quickly eliminated the conductor in the engine room. However, the soldiers in the passenger cars were still unaware of the chaos outside until the robbers tossed a hornet's nest into the carriage. By that point it was too late. The soldiers who attempted to fight back were shot dead by the robbers' gunmen. The robbers then unhooked the carriages from the locomotive, planning to use the momentum of the downhill slope to transport the gold to their destination. At this stage, the soldiers, unable to withstand the stinging of the bees, leaped off the carriages one after another. However, the robbers couldn't celebrate too soon, because the police at the final station, noticing the train's delay, had sent a large group to investigate. To make matters worse, the brakes on the carriages failed. If they couldn't stop in time, the gold would be moved back to the starting location, and all their hard work would be wasted. Fortunately, Jimmy had anticipated this an hour earlier. After the train passed the mountainside, he had dispatched another squad of robbers to construct a speed impediment. There they fastened countless ropes to the trees on both sides of the tracks, hoping to halt the rapidly moving train. However, they didn't foresee that the incline of this portion was too steep, and the speed of the carriages had already reached 300 mph. The ropes stretching across the tracks appeared to have no effect on slowing down the train, and the trees on both sides were torn out of the ground by the tremendous force. Luckily, they had secured sufficient ropes, and, after traveling through a full kilometer of speed impediments, the carriages finally came to a complete stop. The entire operation was only half finished. Everyone quickly moved the gold out of the carriages. Jimmy intentionally let the heavy, horse-pulled wagon take a different route, hoping to use the deep tire marks to mislead the police, chasing them while he took another path with the gold. However, he underestimated the sharp intellect of the sheriff, who chose not to follow the horse-pulled wagon route and instead pursued Jimmy at high speed. Soon the sheriff caught up with Jimmy, who was alone. Jimmy had no choice but to raise his hands and surrender. However, what the sheriff didn't expect was that this was the robbers' final strategy.